Alright, BGL Season 6, Week 5. Will I get 17k again? Let's find out. That's been a trend this season. Hello, middle of nowhere, New Mexico. Maybe. Some very subtle mountains to the kind of northeast. No front plate. So this is probably either New Mexico or Arizona. You can kind of tell. You can kind of see a little bit of a backplate there, but oh, okay, yep, New Mexico. Thank you, game. Because the blue license plate. That shade of like turquoise. What part of New Mexico? That is a great question. You kind of see a few mountains to the west, southwest. When I think of mountains in New Mexico, I think of the ones east of Albuquerque, east of Santa Fe. There's some mountains down here, right? Yeah. But I feel like there's not a ton of Google Maps coverage around this area. There's some, but I feel like it would be more likely to be kind of in the ballpark of Albuquerque. Do I have any other clues to really narrow this down? Or should I just go for a region guess? It's just mountains. Alright, let me use my noggin here. Lone Mountain to the south. It's really just like the mountains kind of in the distance, like the southwest, that I should really be kind of basing this guess off of. I question if it would be this far north. I'm just gonna region guess. I don't know. Sure, right there. Okay. Near the Mexico border. Alright. So I guess a little bit far north, but... Why was there a guess in Mexico? Did bro forget this was US only? Alright, well, I think my guess made enough sense. Like I said, maybe I was a little bit far north. Well, no, my guess didn't make sense because there were no mountains to the east, but I was just like, I just wasn't really sure where to put my marker, so, you know. Not bad. On to round two. Front plate that... Huh. Okay. No front plates there. Alright, that helps a lot. Because I was confused about what this license plate could have been. But this is a fake plate. Alright, yeah. Oh, and no front plate there too. Alright, yeah, cool. Kind of feels like near the Appalachians. Because that looks like mountains there, southeast. Like, but not like particularly big mountains. Maybe like... Yeah, near the Appalachians-ish. No front plate. I mean, all these states don't have front plates. Virginia does. Virginia is the only state in this region that has front plates. How far south do I want to go? Tennessee kind of feels about right. Kind of. I don't think it's going to be much further north than that. And I don't think it's going to... I think it has to... It just feels like Tennessee to me. And it's just that the mountains, we can see them like kind of southeast. Whereas we can't really see much to the west. There could be mountains west for all we know. We can't really tell. Any other clues? Or should I just rip the guess in like eastern Tennessee? Sure, let's see how far off I am. Whoa, what a guess. I'm the goat. I'm the goat. Yeah, it didn't feel south enough to be like Alabama, Georgia. It didn't feel north enough to be like West Virginia. I could have seen Kentucky, but Tennessee just felt right to me. I'm just surprised at how good of a guess that was. I guess I did put it a little bit close to the actual mountains. I could have put it a little bit further west, but I'm not complaining. That was an awesome guess. Round three. Okay, this is where everything goes off the rails. Front plate. I see a universe where this is Texas, but more than likely it's like Nebraska. Feels way more like Nebraska. Iowa, maybe. That That doesn't help. Can't see what the plate is there, but I mean, I feel like we could kind of make out like a. No, I cannot make out a design on that plate actually. Nebraska feels right to me. Like, we see a front plate here. I guess that's not like an end-all be-all like guaranteed Nebraska as opposed to like Kansas, but I'm just thinking like if we see a front plate, that makes it infinite, like way more likely that like. I guess it could be Missouri. I was gonna say that I should avoid guessing too far south in Nebraska because it's not gonna be near Kansas anyway, but it could be Missouri as far as I know. I kind of like this region here. I don't think it's gonna be much further west. Sure, let's go outside of Lincoln. Iowa. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Kind of had the right idea. Round 4. Interesting. Okay, Shirley. 732. I do not know that area code. This feels northeast to me. East Coast. Yep. I mean, kind of figured. Alpine. I don't think that helps me. Yeah, that's like a company or something. No front plate. That doesn't seem right. Spring Lake. That doesn't help me. 732. Yeah, I don't know that area code. We see yellow on the plate there. That would make me think New Jersey, but okay, here. Oh. Okay, thank you. Yes, it's New Jersey. Those are very clearly New Jersey plates. I was just gonna say from that angle and that distance, it almost looked like, well, almost looked like Mississippi, but this is obviously not. All right, what part of New Jersey do I think this is? Spring Lake. I don't think that's a town name. Jersey Shore. That's not right. This isn't by the coast. I don't think. It's I don't think it's going to be by the coast. I really don't. Spring Lake. I don't think that's a town name. I shouldn't be focusing too much on that. I mean, this one I'm kind of running out of time to look for anything on a map. Lake Avenue. We're near a lake. Some random lake. Dude, I do not think we are that far south. There are lakes up there. I really think we're closer to the New York area. I'm committing north. Oh, Spring Lake was a town. I would have had to zoom in pretty far to find it, but... And it was on the coast. I'll be damned. So I had the logic correct in committing north, as opposed to going like Atlantic City, which I guess the entire New Jersey coast is considered Jersey Shore. How many people have 5K'd this? At least 4. Okay, maybe I suck at this game. I don't know. In the moment, I thought my logic made sense. I didn't think it would be like right by the Atlantic Ocean. Anyway, that wasn't bad. Final round. Hello, Pacific Northwest. I mean, I wouldn't inherently rule out something like Colorado, but that just feels... That can't be right. Okay. Those kind of look like diamond-shaped bollards, which would be South Dakota or Montana, but that can't be right. Yeah, no, there's no way that's right. We can't make out what this says, I don't think. Oh, there's a license plate over there, but it's too far away. Dude, there's no way this is South Dakota or Montana. Oh, Montana isn't impossible. Are those Montana bollards, dude? I feel like they might be. That just looks like more like a diamond shape than it does a circular shape. I think I'm gonna commit Montana on this. Oh, this could be a bad idea. This could be a bad idea. If it's not Montana, it's like Northern California or like Washington or Oregon. Okay, it doesn't have the California stripe, but that doesn't rule out the possibility of California. We don't see any telephone poles to confirm the idea of. Dude, am I doing this? Am I committing to Montana? It doesn't really. It just feels further west. It feels more like Oregon or California to me. But those look like Montana bollards. I don't know what part of. It'd have to be very western Montana. I'm sorry, that looks diamond shaped. Those look diamond shaped. Oh no, this is gonna be the worst guess of all time. Or the best guess of all time. I'm the GOAT. Are you kidding me? Oh man, this is my best game of the season. When it doesn't matter, but you know. Did I get third place on the seed? That's what it's saying in the top left corner. Oh yeah, nice. Thanks. New game. New day in GeoGuessr, so I get the daily stuff. I am third place on this seed. That was incredible. Wow. I'm still just sitting here admiring this. This was like one of my best games ever in terms of region guessing. The Tennessee guess and the Montana guess. I can't believe how good those guesses were. All right, let's see how I stack up against the rest of the league. Round 1. Yep. New Mexico roulette. So there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to count all those. There were a ton of guesses in New Mexico. I guess people know the license plates because the license plates are very identifiable in New Mexico. It's like a specific shade of yellow and also like a very like prominent turquoise. And you know we saw the turquoise. So I can't get over the fact that we had a guess in Mexico. Like, bro, why? Round 2. I was not quite the closest on this one. I was off by 37 miles, and AJ was off by 24. Yep. I assume that's how you pronounce his screen name. Some of y'all have really difficult screen names to pronounce. Like, last week or 2 weeks ago. Dude, I'm doing all these videos so out of order. If I don't make a note about it in week 4, I pronounced Ani's name wrong. Apparently it's pronounced Ani, which makes a lot more sense. It would be weird to make your screen name... If you're a dude, it would be weird to have your screen name pronounced the same as, like, a woman's first name. So it's not Annie, it is Ani. But yeah, some of y'all have, like, impossible screen names to pronounce. But to me, this looks like AJ. Yeah, AJ. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, AJ was closer than I was, but I had an awesome guess. Okay, there were a lot of people in that region. So... You know, I'm not that special, but, you know, good work, everyone. I like how we have, like, a kind of a straight line of guesses here in Nebraska. Yeah, a lot of guesses in Iowa. I mean, this round was very much just, like, a bigger region guess. Yeah, I think my guess was smart. In, like, far eastern Nebraska, kind of hedges with Iowa and Missouri, while also hedging for the possibility of Kansas. Round 4. Okay. Yeah, pretty much everyone got the New Jersey thing. I had one of the worst guesses on this one, actually. But points-wise, it didn't make that much of a difference. Yeah, everybody was, like, up the coast. I didn't think it was going to be... Well... Am I stupid for, When I think Jersey Shore, I think Atlantic City. I don't think of, like, the entire coast. Maybe I'm stupid for that. I definitely am. That's definitely a me problem. That's definitely a skill issue. But yeah, how many 5Ks did we have on this? Where is... Yeah, here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Round 5. Oh yes. It was the Montana Bollards, man. In the distance. How many of us got Montana? Just the 5 of us. Yeah, that is where the state border is. Dude, I respect this guess. I respect this guess so much. I'm not trying to call out. You know, it's AJ again. I'm not trying to call out AJ for like being so far off. I respect this guess in the Black Hills. That makes a lot of sense. If you see those bollards, and you think it's either South Dakota or Montana, Black Hills makes a lot of sense. Yeah, few people saw the bollards, and everyone else. I mean, you know, Washington State, Oregon, northern part of California. Even Colorado, those guesses make sense as well. I think third place is the highest I've ever finished on a weekly challenge. That was awesome. Okay, I had to take a bit to update this because, you know, there's always roster moves every week. I think this should be right, so we're just missing 3 more games for this week. I'm recording this on Sunday night. There was a trade for the first time I think for the first time this season. There have been a lot of roster moves this season. It's been tough to keep track of all of them. Yeah, so SanZB was traded for Nutwar, who is he's in the minor leagues. Okay. Nutwar and a draft pick. It just says Wisconsin Season 7 draft pick. I assume that means whatever their first pick is. Anyway, yeah. Oh, we lost again. Wow, 0-5. Okay. Well, there's always next season. Meanwhile, Green Bay has the lead currently versus Wisconsin, but they're up by what, like 13K? How do any of these matchups impact the playoff picture? That's probably important. Standings. This is updated through the first 4 weeks. Yeah, Sacramento, Minnesota, and Colorado are all neck and neck in points for. Sacramento and Minnesota play each other. That one is still up in the air. Still 2 more people need to play for Minnesota. Colorado beat us, right? So Colorado is going to be guaranteed 3-2. Colorado outscored Sacramento by 5K. If Sacramento loses, Colorado makes it. If Minnesota loses, Colorado's locked for a playoff spot because they've already outscored Sacramento. Yeah, Colorado gets the playoff spot, and then it's winner of Sacramento versus Minnesota to get the other playoff spot. So in the East, it's Wisconsin and Pittsburgh. And in the West, it's Colorado and the winner of Sacramento versus Minnesota. It was Minnesota. Right, so Minnesota ended up beating Sacramento and taking the second playoff spot. I already had to record this once. I'm just going to try to speed run through this. So Minnesota beat Sacramento and got the second playoff spot. Let me pop open the standings. So in the playoffs, in the East, it was Wisconsin and Pittsburgh. And in the West, Minnesota and Colorado. Sacramento just barely missed out. It's wild how close this playoff race was in the West, and then there's us. But yeah, so Sacramento equals that minus that. Sacramento missed out on playoffs by, that's basically just one guess. Presumably the closest playoff race we've ever seen in BGL before. But yeah, so Wisconsin versus Pittsburgh, Minnesota versus Colorado, and spoilers, that I need to zoom out. Those matchups have already happened. Pittsburgh beat Wisconsin, Colorado beat Minnesota, and now, yeah, Pittsburgh, Colorado in the finals. That matchup, I believe, is coming down to the wire. So here's what the finals matchup is looking like right now. Colorado currently has 69.6K, and Pittsburgh still has one player left. It's Indy that they're waiting on, I believe. And, yeah, they're down by, like, 19.6K. Yeah, like 19.6 is what Indy would need to get to give Pittsburgh the win. Now, how many points can you expect from Indy? That's a great question. About 18.9K, because that is his average on the season. Speaking of numbers, we've got some more fun numbers here. First up, we've got standard deviation, which basically is a measure of consistency. In fact, let me just sort by that right now. Boom. That's the wrong way around. Right, so this is a measure of a player's consistency as opposed to their actual scores. So yeah, Ani ended up leading the league in everything. He was not only the best player by a good margin, he was also the most consistent. Never got a score below 21.5K, which is insane. But yeah, so Dominator scale. I should clarify that both of these stats, Beaver came up with both of these, and he called this stat season score index. I prefer Dominator scale. Dominator scale is basically just like average, except displayed as a percentage. So like the most average player this year, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. So this guy, Dominator scale of 100.45%, just a hair above average at 16.995K. So yeah, Dominator scale and average, it's like the same thing, but just being able to see it as a percentage does kind of, it kind of puts it into perspective a little bit better. And we don't really have much more in the way of minor league stats because the minor league challenges were just like never posted in the chat. And I could very easily just go in the chat and be like, hey, can we post the minor league challenges? I don't know why I haven't done that. All right, and I guess that's it for me for now. Like I said, this is my second time trying to record this. I just want it to be done. So anyway, yep, that's it for Season 6. Season's not technically over yet. We've got to see what happens in the finals. But that's it for me, at least. So see y'all next season.